What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. I was glad to see we hit the like goal on the first part of the series because I really did want to continue it, and it's nice to see that there's interest in it. And we left off at a good point too. Raditz just came to Earth and got defeated, and now we're going into the Saiyan saga, and apparently Kami has some sort of plan for Piccolo in order to help them defeat the Saiyans once they're actually here. What could he possibly have in mind? For this part, let's set a like goal of 2,500 likes, and once we hit that, I'll continue this scenario with another video. Anyways, let's pick up from here. Piccolo arrives at the lookout, curious to find out what Kami has in mind. And it's something he's thought about for a while but wasn't really sure about. First, he has to fill Piccolo in on a little bit of history. As he's sure Piccolo knows, way back when, Kami was merged into one being with King Piccolo. However, as this nameless Namekian, the evil side of him was quite literally ejected from his body, in the form of King Piccolo. But with this, Kami also lost a lot of his power. Popo is there as well to explain some of this. And Piccolo feels like he knows where Kami's going with this. It might be the last hope for Earth, and it might cause him to lose the Dragon Balls. If he were to fuse into Piccolo once more, back to the nameless Namekian, the resulting Namekian would be more than enough to fight the Saiyans. And although it means the Dragon Balls would become inactive, there still may be some hope. Kami and Piccolo know nothing of their heritage. But if they were able to somehow find out about this, maybe there's more of them out there. Demons, slug people, whatever they are. There's a possibility that someone like them exists out there, and could have the Dragon Balls or know the secret about making them. But now's not the time to worry about that. Kami asks Piccolo if he wants to take this offer, resting the fate of the Earth in his hands. Piccolo has grown a lot as a person, and Kami feels safe if he were to merge into him. Not to mention his influence by fusing into Piccolo would only further his development. This isn't something he did in the original story, but he's grown so close to Piccolo at this point as a teacher and student that it does come up in his head. And this could secure the future of Earth. Against Saiyans or whatever enemy they'll fight. They think hard about it, with Popo sad to see Kami go. But Piccolo accepts this. He feels it's the right course of action for Earth and the right thing to do. It will strengthen him physically and mentally. Kami hesitates, not too sure himself either. Both aren't 100% certain, but it does seem like the safest course of action. He places his hand on Piccolo's chest, giving him a brief thank you and goodbye. Although it's not really a goodbye, Kami will still be there in spirit, and within the new Piccolo. Nervously, the two of them fuse, as Kami disappears, leaving only Piccolo behind.
I am neither Kami nor Piccolo. I'm simply a Namekian who's forgotten his own name.
Popo is amazed. This isn't Piccolo or Kami anymore. Immediately by his demeanor he could tell. It's a brand new person. Piccolo, or wherever this person is feeling mixed emotions right now. He feels more than confident enough to face the Saiyans in the future. But now, he has to deal with his new identity. So where would Piccolo be in terms of power here? Sorry to ruin the emotion, but it is something we need to discuss. So if you're expecting him to be as strong as he is during the Cell Saga, that's not going to be the case here. First of all, during that part, he was much stronger beforehand, and he had another Namekian fused within him. So it's not like he's going to jump to Android 17 level during this saga. However, he's going to have a noticeable boost in power. We don't know exactly how much it would be though, but consider this. During the Android saga, he jumped from being able to take on Dr. Gero all the way to fighting Android 17 evenly. Android 17 who was also the stronger of the two twins, with Android 18 being the one to demolish Vegeta who was in Super Saiyan. So it's not like he just surpassed Vegeta and Trunks in terms of power. He surpassed them even in terms of their power while they were in Super Saiyan at this point. So while it is very vague, we can at least tell that the jump from Dr. Gero's level to Android 17's level after fusion, well, it would mean Piccolo's probably hundreds of times stronger here. And for all we know, that might be lowballing it. Remember, the androids weren't really trying too hard against Vegeta when they were fighting. And that's what we're using as the baseline. The funny thing is, Piccolo doesn't know how strong the Saiyans are here. Is his new power actually enough to face them? In all honesty, it's overkill. If Piccolo was at a power of 520 before in the last part, and we're saying he's getting a multiplier of a couple hundred times from fusion, well, yeah, he's gonna be broken. I'd say a 200 times multiplier is a low ball for this. And even with that, it would mean Piccolo's at a power of 104,000. But like I said, that's a low ball. For all we know, the multiplier could have been 500 times, 1,000 times. Who knows? All we know now is that he grossly overpowers Nappa and Vegeta, and he doesn't even know it yet. Immediately, he returns to the group. And needless to say, everyone's speechless. This power is incomprehensible, and a little scary. Although everyone's nervous about the Dragon Balls being gone, and the fact that Kami's not here anymore they're a little sad about, they're amazed by this new Piccolo. This doesn't mean they're just gonna stop training, no. If anything, this acts as motivation. Piccolo does want to train with them, but he feels it's better if he trains by himself. He doesn't even know his own power yet, and is honestly kinda anxious to use it in training. Plus, he'd probably see diminishing gains from training like that. The group does go with their training, but they're not too nervous about the Saiyans. They feel Piccolo alone could take them on. Well, hopefully. I mean, this power is unfathomable, so it should be good enough. Every member of the Dragon Team begins training, including a new member, Gohan. Of course, he's not going to be trained by Piccolo this time. Goku's here so he and Krillin will train him. The bad thing is though that the humans won't be able to train with Kami because, well, he's not there. The best they could do is train with Piccolo's teachings and help from Popo, but again, Piccolo can't physically train with them, he can only help them out. And because he's more focused on training alone. But on the lookout he eyes something. A place in which he tried to train in briefly, where Kami tried to see if he'd be able to do well. The Room of Spirit and Time. Piccolo couldn't handle it before. Can he handle it here? It might be worth trying out. He heads in alone, thankfully without the need of food, just water, and he could already feel his increase in power. Before, even for a few weeks on the inside before, he couldn't handle this room. But now, he's actually training in there, and it does seem like it's the best course of action for him because anything on the outside would be too little. Although he is only going to spend a year in there. Of course, a day on the outside. This could be beneficial for him. Everyone's training is going very well. Gohan gets acclimated to fighting, Krillin and Goku grow greatly, and others like Tenshinhan, Yamcha, and Chaozu all grow as well. But of course, the most noticeable is Piccolo. Frankly, he's really overpowered right now. That year in the Room of Spirit and Time was, well, overkill, to say the least. It was more so to see if he can do it, not really that he needed it. Although he does know that at this point he can only be in there for 2 years. He might need to make some improvements in the future. I guess he is kind of the new Guardian of Earth now, considering that Kami's gone. It's a weird little change for Piccolo. He's not truly going to be Guardian of Earth, but because of him now taking the place of his teacher, and the power of him, Piccolo feels somewhat of a responsibility to actually guard Earth here. More so than he did before. He needs to carry on his teacher's legacy somehow. Once this nonsense with the Saiyans is over, maybe he can try and find out some more about his past. Seeing if he can somehow improve Earth. With Dragon Balls, trying to rebuild the Room of Spirit and Time somehow, whatever. He's going to be a lot more proactive. More time passes and the Saiyans eventually show up on Earth. Piccolo is infuriated because immediately when they arrive on Earth, they destroy a city. And that's damage that can't be undone. There's no Dragon Balls right now. So unless they're able to defeat these Saiyans and get the Dragon Balls back somehow, well, those people are dead for good. And Piccolo feels responsible for it. The Dragon Team meets in a wasteland with Nappa and Vegeta. First, the Cybermen are sent out. Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, and Gohan, all of them are able to take on Cybermen. Gohan does have a bit of trouble, but he has a lot of help around him, while Piccolo stands idly by. It's great to see how his comrades developed. And if they do need, he could step in and help them with the Cybermen, but it seems like they don't need the help. Vegeta and Nappa are a bit impressed, but only a bit. They're able to take on the Cybermen somehow, but will they be able to fight Nappa? Well, let's see. Once again, the rest of the group feels like they want to take this on alone, and Piccolo's just going to stand by. Collectively, they're all able to fight Nappa, and Krillin would probably be stronger than normal because he started out stronger, and he's still getting some similar training. As for the rest of the group, they're probably going to be around the same. And because people are going to ask me where power levels are, let's say for the sake of this video, Krillin is the strongest human with a power of 2500. And instead of Goku having a power of over 8000, he's only about over 5500 here. But still, that would mean Goku alone could take on Nappa pretty easily. And with the whole group there, well, they're able to defeat him no sweat. Some sweat, but not a lot. Sucks for him because Vegeta kills Nappa right after. What a useless guy. How could Vegeta kill one of his comrades that easily? Vegeta begins powering up, as Piccolo steps up to the plate, and of course, Vegeta makes a comment about him being a Namekian, surprised to see him here and thinks that he won't be able to do anything. Oh, well, that was pretty easy for Piccolo. I guess now he knows which alien race he's from. He'll remember that. Thank you, Vegeta. Too bad Piccolo's gonna show him some judgment here. And I know this might get people mad, but he does not plan on sparing Vegeta. After Nappa killed all those innocent civilians while Vegeta watched, and after Vegeta just casually kills his friend, Piccolo knows this isn't some guy he wants to keep around. And it will have huge implications later on. Without even trying, Piccolo is able to stun Vegeta basically. However, he hesitates, and it gives Vegeta an opening to use his artificial moon. Right away, he knows this Namekian is too powerful, and this might be the only way for him to beat him. It sacrifices a bit of his power, but allows Vegeta to turn into a great ape. This is just kind of funny to Piccolo. This still won't do anything to him. While in Great Ape, Vegeta steps on Piccolo, but he feels he's getting lifted by his foot. Piccolo caught his foot, with one finger, and launches Vegeta into the sky. Vegeta stops himself while he's spinning around midair, and charges a massive beam from his mouth aimed directly at Earth. With a one-handed blast, Piccolo is able to nullify it, sending a blast that not only protects everyone, but also hits Vegeta. launching him further into the atmosphere. Almost near the barrier of space, Piccolo jumps an astounding height, meeting with Vegeta midair. He's about to show Vegeta a true mouth beam. He opens his mouth, basically unhinging his jaw, charging and letting out a massive blast. It careens off into space with Vegeta, who ends up getting disintegrated and killed in the explosion. Piccolo descends back to Earth, brushing the dust off of him. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? And he was barely even trying. Everyone is speechless, but happy. They're able to defend Earth, and now they're all safe. But just as Piccolo remembers before, he has a guilty conscience. Of course, it wasn't his fault, but like I mentioned, he feels the burden of being the guardian of Earth, or at least he thinks he wants to be, even if it's not in his full capacity. But with the close encounter with the Saiyans and after that city got destroyed, Piccolo has one thing on his mind right now. He wants to locate the other Namekians and figure out whatever he can about the Dragon Balls. Thankfully, Piccolo's not a bad guy. I mean, his power is actually terrifying for everyone. He could have easily taken over Earth if he wanted. But this is a completely different person, even before he fused. Not to say that Piccolo was a villain at this point in the story still, he was in his process of reforming. But here this is a completely unrecognizable person. Before and after the fusion, this is a different Piccolo from the one we know. His friendship and rivalry with people like Goku and Krillin, and his desire to defend Earth and protect everyone. That's what's going to keep him going into the future parts. Work begins as they try to locate Namek. The usual happens. Although King Kai doesn't really offer help here because he's not too involved with Earth right now, Popo helps him find Kami's former ship, and Bulma is able to do some reverse engineering to find out the location of Namek, as well as putting some improvements on the ship. Naturally, Bulma's going to be going on the mission because she knows how to pilot the ship, with Piccolo and Krillin joining. Krillin just wanting to go because he thinks it's cool, and Piccolo going for obvious reasons, wanting to see his home planet and helping out with this. Gohan stays back with his family. I mean, it's been far too long since Goku's been able to enjoy some family time, so why not now? As well as a little bit of training with his son. And once this group arrives on Namek, it's actually peaceful. No Frieza here, because Vegeta and Nappa never found out about the Dragon Balls, meaning Frieza didn't either. All goes well. Piccolo is very humbled to see his home planet, and is glad to finally be here. Everyone welcomes him in, and when they figure out why he's here, of course they're going to grant him the Dragon Balls. He also gets to meet Guru, and Guru's happy to see a new Namekian here, although he's not here to stay, but it is for a good purpose. Nail's pretty amazed to see how strong this guy is, and they find out apparently he did some Namekian fusion, plus a lot of training with a good master. So, what does Piccolo plan on wishing for with the Dragon Balls? Well, he wanted to wish for him to have the ability to make some himself. Turns out Namek's Dragon Balls will grant you 3 wishes, and he's able to wish to have the ability to make Dragon Balls himself. Considering how strong Piccolo is, that means Shenron will be way stronger than before, and since this wish grants him all the knowledge of the Dragon Balls, he's going to be able to make some nice improvements, and possibly make them like Namek's. Turns out he's left with 2 wishes. Sadly, he can't wish everyone back with one of the wishes, but he's able to at least restore the damage done. And it might be a weird spot to end, but we're going to leave off here for now, because I want to ask, do you think Piccolo will use the last wish for anything else? And if so, what for? And do you think Guru will unlock his potential, and Krillin's for that matter? And what do you think will happen in the next part? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And once we hit our like goal, I'll continue this scenario with another part. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.